Hi everyone, John Zuzga, ZUMA Concepts. Today I'm bringing you a video on it's like a winch bracket that I designed, and what happened is I was working on a project and I needed to load and offload a piece of equipment I designed onto a flatbed trailer, and I borrowed my brother's flatbed trailer and he didn't have a winch system for it, so knowing that I needed a winch for this setup, I was trying to think of, what else can I do with this winch and how can I get more uses out of it than this once or twice I'm going to need it to load this trailer. So I came up with this design, and it's really just a mounting plate that you put any standard winch on, and in this case I used a 13,000 pound winch because I wanted to be able to use it on my truck afterwards. And the mounting plate, you'll see in this video I'm about to show you, the mounting plate is designed so it bolts on to the front of his trailer where his spare tire goes. And then when you pop that off, the plate has an axle through it so I can throw two wheels on it. And I've also mounted a Reese hitch on the front so I can change my hitching points for when I want to pull something, and generally it's with my truck. And in this video I got my truck stuck at a cabin and I needed to use it to pull it out. And the whole reason I wanted to build it so that it was as functional to keep in the back of my truck is when you're driving any type of diesel, you get into a heavy vehicle like that and you get stuck in wet grass, unfortunately. And I've done all the mods I need to my truck so I don't get stuck, but it still happens. And in this case, it was, we were just getting a fresh few inches of snow, and we were just coming off of a pretty moderate temperature, so the ground was still kind of soft and there were puddles everywhere. And I got the front end of my truck into a puddle I wasn't aware of, and it started to sink, and I couldn't back out of it because the ground behind me was slushy and slippery, so it was just a bad combination. And you'll see in the picture the truck doesn't look that stuck, but it wasn't going anywhere, and I didn't want to dig any deeper trenches than I had to, so I got this winching system out and set it up, and you're going to be able to see that here in this video. Another thing that got me going on that is I've had this truck stuck before and had 3 friends in front of me stuck trying to help get me out, and it's a mess. And being able to be prepared and have something like this at your disposal at any point in time, it's awesome. It's really great to have. There was another time I got stuck real bad. I was probably 200 or 300 feet off of any type of wooded line, and I needed to daisy chain all my straps and hook them together. And my son Abin, he's funny. He's like, "We're never getting out of here, Dad. It ain't happening, man." So I let him run the winch, and he felt real cool because he pulled the truck out. But it's a neat setup, and I wanted to share it with you. I think it'll give you guys some good ideas in case you want to do something like this yourselves. Obviously, you might not be able to do the exact same setup, but something similar. And it's really great to have this thing in the back of my truck and be able to help myself out or even other people at any point in time. So I'm going to show you some of this stuff. I'm going to show you how I store it. I'm going to show you some of the components of it. Everything is going to be linked in the bottom in the description. So if you like what you're seeing, don't forget to subscribe. That's how you help me out bringing you guys these videos and these ideas. Here's what I got for you, and hopefully you enjoy.
This is a picture of the setup right after I'd finished it. You'll see in the video it's a lot more sun fade from this from sitting in the back of my truck. Once I had everything hooked up, I just left my truck in neutral. The ground here was pretty flat, so I wasn't too worried about the truck rolling off. Normally I would have somebody riding there, or I'd ride in there myself with my foot on the brake so I can stop it just in case there was some type of a hill or any type of issue where it might roll off or take off. In some cases you need to assist the winch too and have it in drive and be bogging, but like I said, I wasn't too stuck here. This was just a small pull, so I was able to just put it in neutral and let it pull itself out here.
All right, so here, the way I designed this is I welded this Reese hitch on here so I could swap these out so I could put any type of a toe assembly I'd like in here. And then I also, the main reason I was building this is for this trailer I'm about to demonstrate, but these 4 holes, I'll show you, line up on the spare tire mount for my brother's trailer so I can easy load his trailer, whether it's a car or something else. And I actually came up with this design when I was doing my hemp harvester, and I needed a way to load and offload it. So I'm going to go through and kind of show you that. I put the wheels on it so you could easily move this thing around because it's kind of heavy. It's a 13,000 pound winch. But all you do is pop the wheels off. And then this thing goes and mounts on the trailer. I'm going to put the wheel back on so I can get it over there. Then I'm going to pop it off and demonstrate that for you. Now, if you look at the bottom here, there's a piece of angle here, and the angle iron sets on this ledge, and then the 4 bolt hole pattern bolts onto where the spare tire was. I'm going to demonstrate that for you. This slides into place like this, drops down on there. Just finger tighten these nuts back on. If you're doing some heavy work, you can tighten it right down, but to show you guys, I'm just going to go through this quick. So I put a 13,000 pound winch on here because obviously I wanted to multi-use this for my truck, which is about 8,000 pounds. And then I built a series of extensions so I can run up to my hood either at the back of my truck or the front of my truck. In this case, at the back when I'm loading a vehicle or whatever at the time. And then just works like any winch. Put it in neutral, pull it out, hook it to what you're using, and slide straight in here and it'll pull it right up on the trailer. And then I usually leave it on too for when I'm taking it off the trailer when it gets set back so it doesn't run away on you. Then you can run the winch the other direction and back it out. I took and mounted a 300 amp breaker on it right on top to make sure I don't screw anything up on my truck or overload anything. And that's that. Works good for pulling my truck out when I get stuck and no one's around to help me, and works good for using it on this purpose too. So here's the extension I built for it. I bought some high amp jumper cables, 20 footers. I cut the one end off and put the adapter on it so I can plug and unplug that so it's not always banging around in the back and having to deal with all this cable. And then the jumper cables just hook right up to one of my batteries under the hood. And then this particular winch came with a remote, and that just plugs in the side, and you run in and out with that. Okay, and it's that easy to use. So hopefully like what you saw. I'm going to link below in the description everything I used here, so in case you want to try it yourself. And in everybody's situation is going to be a little bit different. You know, if you got a trailer and it doesn't have that front wheel lock, there's different variations of ways you could bolt that down. I just wanted to show it to you guys, maybe spark some ideas for yourselves. But hopefully you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching. Have a good one.